All right, y'all, come on in, come on in, come on in here. We got some good stuff to cover today. I hope your afternoon is going great. Mine is going good thus far. Now, I'm gonna get right into it, y'all, and I just want to start off by saying pretty much this. Have y'all ever seen a man pick a fight with a lion only to be eaten by the jungle itself? Well, what we witnessed this past weekend, y'all, was pretty much Elon Musk taking jabs at the very person he once called a friend, y'all. I'm talking about crashing out, going in. This man literally was riding Trump's coattail. Okay, let's be real. Conservative credibility. And then turned around and had the audacity to threaten him and saying that he was on the Epstein list. That's the reason why I won't be put out and all these other type of mess that he was doing. You know what I'm saying? And that was the low of all lows. A lot of people saying, oh, this probably was something they thought of. I'm like, but how far do you take a freaking joke? And then y'all was bringing it to my attention. Like, if this was really true, then wouldn't the left and the libtards, wouldn't they have put that out on him? That was something that they would have put out on him if that was the case. So most recently, y'all, Musk has taken down, some of the posts that he was saying when he was crashing out, stuff like that. I don't know if he came back to his common sense, but let me tell you something. Do y'all understand Trump got a birthday coming up this month? This man is a Gemini. I'm married to a Gemini, and I know once you cross them, baby, there is no turning back. They can keep it cultural and cool. Some of them might even fool with you at all. But baby, if this was a joke, the joke went too far. But a lot of people kind of stood up and was like, hey, yo, hell no. Trump ain't got nothing to do with Epstein. And as a matter of fact, it was, I believe Epstein was at one of his parties at his home, and he didn't like how Epstein was, eyeballing one of the members, teenage girls there and stuff like that, put him out, kicked him out. Trump was even the one to help, bring the authorities to Epstein and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that can come out and actually say this. Yes, Trump and Epstein were at a few gatherings and things like that. I mean, they were into damn near the same thing when it came to real estate and all this other type of stuff. They would run into each other and stuff like that. But does that mean Trump has something to do with that man's sickness? Hell no. So with that being said, y'all, I'm about to shut up. We finna dive into the first video. Trump pretty much saying, I wish him well. I wish him the best, but I'm finna put my big man draws on because I got a country to run at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, y'all, let's go into it. Benny Johnson on X, if y'all want to follow him. Great guy. Let's get into it. President Trump was asked about Elon Musk. Let's go.
What's your view on Elon Musk as of today? I mean, have you heard from him at all?
Honestly, I've been so busy working on China, working on Russia, working on Iran, working on so many. I'm not thinking about Elon.
On the China.
And I just wish him well.
What's your view
and the president has spoke. He just wish him well, and that is how a boss handles this interview. You get what I'm saying? Like, all right, he said what he said. I said what I said, but I'm back to business. And that's what it's about at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Musk was sitting there playing with the Twitter fingers, y'all, and then recently deleted the Epstein information that he put up because he knew he was wrong. And he got a lot of backlash from that. You know what I'm saying? All because he wanted to pout, throw tech tantrums. Because he disagreed. Let's keep this thing going, y'all. Now, Epstein's lawyer reached out and said exactly, hey, this is not true. He is not on the list. When he went in and actually talked to Epstein, he had nothing bad to say about Trump. So he took to Trump's defense and said, hell no. That man ain't got nothing. He is not on the list. He clarified that, y'all. He clarified that. And just to give y'all more understanding, this man right here clarified and said Trump is not on that BS. He's not on the list. He ain't have ish to do with none of that. If anything, he was the one to help authorities get that thick bimbo locked up or whatnot. So we're going to keep it going. Don't take my word for it. Let's go straight to Chicago One Bray, y'all. On X, Holy F, the attorney representing 70 of Jeffrey Epstein's victims said Trump was the only one who helped him go after Epstein in 2009. Let's dive into it. Let's go.
We have a really important piece of video. This comes to us from a lawyer who represented 70 of Epstein's victims, who said that the only guy that he got in touch with who was very helpful to going after Jeffrey Epstein was one Donald J. Trump. Take a look, cut 3 here. This lawyer, again, who represented Epstein victims, who said Trump's the good guy in this story. Look.
The only thing that I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas on a lot of people, or at least gave notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them, he is the only person who picked up the phone and said, let's just talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you what you need to know, and was very helpful in the information that he gave, and gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information that checked out and that helped us, and that we didn't have to take a deposition of him.
That was in 2009?
That was in 2009. So,
do you know if there's any truth to James Patterson's claims that Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago?
So this is the basic lawyer, y'all, pretty much stating like this man had 70 victims. He has no reason to lie for Trump. Not only did Trump not protect Epstein, he helped take that man down. So why would Elon post something like that? I don't know. Again, if the libtards and left had this information, it would have been released. That would have been something they used before this man even ran to be president for his second term, if that was the case. So it lines up with Trump banning Epstein at his Mar-a-Lago place years ago. All of this lines up now.
I've definitely heard that.
I've definitely heard that. Okay, so that gets to the next piece of evidence in Trump's favor. President Trump, by now, you likely know, but for those who don't, he banished Jeffrey Epstein from Mar-a-Lago for harassing a member's daughter. Take a look here. This is an old CNBC report on the subject, but I want to make sure you get a hold of it here. Trump banned Jeffrey Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after the sex criminal hit on another member's daughter.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot fake this kind of track record. And speaks louder than a blue performative, y'all. Seriously, outraged. Like, why? Let's keep this thing rolling, okay? I ain't done. Y'all thought I was done? Nope. All right, with that being said, y'all, Elon Musk's father has spoken out after the tech tantrum of his son throwing a hissy fit at Trump. The father, yes, Mr. Musk's father has spoken out on behalf of his son. With that being said, y'all, we finna dive into a shadow of Ezra on X. Elon Musk's father, Errol Musk, has come to his son's defense amid the public clash, which President Trump saying Elon is simply exhausted and under immune stress. What do you think President Trump faces every single day? Welcome. This man has an entire country to run, and not only that, having to fight the very people in his own country to even try to get things done. He can't just have they not finna let him just have a smooth presidency run. They not finna let him have a smooth term. They didn't the first time. They not finna let him have this time. Obama, everybody else had smooth runs, right? Because it was dealing with corruption. But you got someone who actually fights for this country and the people of this country. And they not finna let Trump have a smooth run. What do you mean? Me stress and all of this. We the people are we feel the same way too, because we got to sit here every day and report to these bimbo ass people out here that's making it hard for our president, which we voted for, by the way, to get things done. What do you think we're going through? Do you see us on Twitter saying this and that and the other about our president? Hell no. So no. Now I don't know what this man is about to say, but just in case he's going to say something sideways, you know what I'm saying? I'm already there. Now, with that being said, y'all, let's hear what Mr. Musk's father has to say. Let's get into it.
You know, they've been under a lot of stress for 5 months, you know, a lot of stress for 5 months. And, you know, it gives them a break. You know, they've had to get rid of all the opposition, try and put the country back on track and, you know, do normal things and so forth. And they're very tired and stressed. And so you can expect something like this. You know, it's not unusual. Yes. Oh, no. Trump will prevail. He's the president. He was elected as the president. So, you know, Elon made a mistake, I think, in...
Okay, Dad. Okay, Dad.
5 months, continuous, you know. Stress. And then, in the end, it's just him and Trump left. Then they still, you know, don't know what to do. So they fight with each other, you know, until they can, you know, come to normal conditions, you know what I mean? But first 5 months, terrible stress.
Okay, and I get it, Dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take credit from Elon Musk. It's just like there's a certain way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? I understand. We the people under stress, Trump under stress, Elon's under stress, and I get it because coming in, those teams, they did unravel a lot of corruption and stuff like that. You got one man fight. Well, everybody fighting for the same thing, but one man is fighting for, you know, cut that is like making sure that the country doesn't go bankrupt, and while the other one is fighting for the people in the country, like they all on the same page and stuff like that. But there's a way of coming to people instead of going to the net. That was wrong on his end, you know, and I get it underneath a lot of stress. Yeah, 5 months of your businesses being torn apart and all that. But Elon, that was not the way to do it, regardless of the situation. That wasn't. You know where this man stayed at. You had this man's number. That was not the way to do it if you were trying to get your point across. That wasn't. All right, y'all. So let's keep it moving. The dad has spoken. As you see, you know what I'm saying? He like, hey, son messed up. That wasn't the way to do it. So shout out to Dad, because Dad see. Now, with that being said, y'all, we finna go ahead and dive into the last video. Here's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Trump said he got a business to, you know, a country to run, this, that, and the other. Will Elon and him ever talk? Hell, I don't know. I know Trump said at this moment, he don't plan on talking to him or anything or whatnot. Can we erase what Elon has done? No, we cannot. Because, I mean, I can see if he was throwing just a few things, but he took it far when he did the entire Epstein thing. Like, I was just like, whoa, wow. You know what I'm saying? And then asking for a third political party and just all of this just been really funny. There's a lot of shots were fired. And for him to do that to someone he really looked up to, called a friend, to say that I got you, you got elected president because of me and this, that, and the other, just tech tantrums and stuff like that. It wasn't cause for it. You know what I'm saying? Will the people, you know, kind of warm back up to him? I don't know. I really hope that at some point in time they can sit down and talk, you know, things out and have that closure with each other or whatnot. Because I wish, you know, bad on nobody. Elon did do a lot of amazing things or whatever. I hate that him leaving, he had to turn around and do something like this, you know what I'm saying, to someone you called a friend. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hopefully he learns from this. Again, he has recently had to take it to the post down and things like that. So, again, maybe he probably was like, okay, you know what? I was on one. Let me go ahead and, you know, shake this off. Hopefully he will reach out to Trump. Trump will be willing to listen and they kind of nip it in the bud and keep things moving. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in, kicking it with your girl. Let's go ahead and dive into this last video, y'all, coming straight from, what is this? _USA. Best delivery of all time. The Trump versus Elon UFX X Pro. No principle left in America first. A smash mouth football crediting a detection of rejection. Y'all, let's go ahead and dive into the last video. Let me know y'all thoughts. Let's get it.
Hey, huh? And the left's out here in the comment section like, hi, so you coming back to vote blue again? Fuck no. Bitch, please. Let me make this crystal fucking clear. You couldn't fucking pay me in platinum bars. You couldn't offer me a beachfront mansion and lifetime head from a Victoria's Secret angel to ever vote blue again.
Come
if
on.
you vote blue, we'll give you a superpower. What kind? The ability to ignore facts, flip-flop on values, and pretend biological men can win Woman of the Year? Already taken. That's your superpower. Now, to Mr. Space Daddy himself, Elon, bruh, if you had dirt on Trump and sat on it, you didn't just drop a bombshell. You nuked your own credibility. Because that don't make you a whistleblower. It makes you a clout chaser with a crypto boner and a savior complex. And don't get it twisted. I still think he's smarter than fucking 95% of the meat puppets on Capitol Hill. But this move, all y'all fucking dirty. All y'all playing in the same fucking sandbox, just with different colored shit. And the same people laughing in DMs and TikToks. Ha, MAGA's dead. Listen, y'all are the same fucking folks who get two-pieced by your baby daddy in front of the fucking kids. And still post, he's just hurt. I know the real him. He's just misunderstood. Bitch, the real him blackened your eye and misunderstood your jawline with his fist.
Boy,
now you got people in my comments talking political strategy. Ma'am, you got roaches in your car. Sit this one out. After you got empath in your bio, but can't empathize with a single working American getting taxed to hell. So you can keep living off DoorDash, government assistance, and vibes. So nope, not voting blue. Not if Trump goes to prison, not if the RNC catches fucking fire, and not if the world flip-flops upside down and Kamala starts rapping WAP in sign language.
Oh, Lord.
On Sesame Street and Big Bird throwing ass in the background. You lost me when you lost your damn minds. And just for good measure, y'all would vote for a literal potato if it offered free Wi-Fi, gender-neutral bathrooms, and a drag brunch in Santa Monica. Y'all wanted to smoke, but forget you're living in a gasoline house with a flamethrower named Elon. But go ahead. Party it up with your new bestie. Just remember, it's gonna be real fucking funny when y'all demand the rest of the list come out. Then start choking on your gluten-free tofu wrap when you see names on it.
This man snap.